The following podcast is sponsored by Words and Pictures Comics, located at 2610 Center Street, number 6. Words and Pictures is your one-stop shop for vintage back issues and cutting-edge graphic novels. Awesome service, great shop. Check them out. Welcome, everyone, to episode 252 of Just Joshing. I am your host, Joshua Pantellaresco. I write stuff in podcasts, too. I continue my conversation today with Myk Pilgrim and Pippa. I conclude it. The 4 things you go without in life will definitely, I think, shock everybody here. This was a really cool interview. I'm going to just get right into it, and we'll do all the post stuff after. But for now, let's just go into that conversation.
Weird sort of thing. It's like in the UK, we had our towns and villages, and then we made the trains connect to them. And in America, it's like they built the trains and put a couple of towns and villages alongside them, but didn't really build external networks. I mean, I've used the Vermonter and gone up from Washington DC to Vermont before, but there's just like nothing.
No, there's not. No, it's the fact that, again, just historically, you guys came from an area where everything was connected. Like historically, first they built roads, but then they built all the different ways that connected them as things evolved because it made sense. And it actually does make sense. That's the thing. It does. Right?
I mean, like, I'm coming from a completely different spec on all the stuff where, like, back home, public transport is a non-existent thing, and that's, like, so you turn 18 and you learn how to drive, and that's how it is, and everybody's got a car because you can't walk. It's a safety issue.
Yes. No, totally.
So, like, the contrast for me coming over here was like, what do you mean you can catch a bus? And, like...
Taxis are dangerous back home, I think.
Yeah, no, it's pretty much, it's a crapshoot. It just kind of, it disintegrates into it's...
Yeah, no. I mean, that's also the other reality of the world is there's a lot of people that have not in the world, and it creates a desperation that's not healthy for anybody.
It is complicated, and the thing is that kind of people think that everything's just as simple as kind of literally like a black and white thing, and the truth is that things are not as simple as we wish they were, but simultaneously they're not as complicated as everybody makes out. This weird grey middle area where folks have got to kind of tighten their belts and kind of swallow their pride and all the other stuff to find this kind of these solutions.
Well,
at the same time, like, I get into kind of disagreements, like with folks where I kind of like look around the UK and I say, dude, seriously, wind your fucking neck in. You have all these wonderful things. You can walk down the street in the middle of the night. You're not worried about this. You've got like a health system. You've got the NHS. You've got Jesus. You can claim unemployment. You can do this. You know, like whatever bitching you might do about the government and stuff. Like, there are systems in place.
Yeah, it's not the same as living somewhere where the systems are either failing or non-existent.
They're non-existent. Yeah. I mean, it blows my mind, like, at how ungrateful folks are for just this baseline stuff that they take for granted every day.
There's a point in my life where I was really struggling, and I figured out that there are really 3 things. There are 3 things I think that differ, and this is going to sound like laughably simple, but these 3 things are a difference between civilization and poverty. Ready?
Uh-huh.
Toilet paper, number 1. Sounds really simple, man, but I mean that.
So how much did you run out of? And how low did you stoop?
He's got less socks than he used to have.
He's got less socks. Did
you gave the secret away, Pip.
Just scrape off the crust.
How many socks did you use, and did you turn them inside out?
No. Dude, you can't turn them inside out. There's no. That's if you go that route, you're done.
Were you still wearing them?
I heard poverty with a capital P here. You clearly were desperate.
No, absolutely. I was desperate, but I mean, it's just one of those. It was at the point where I could still do some basic stuff, but it was like the things you appreciate when they're not there. You figure it out real quick, right? Never quite got to that point, but it was going to get there very soon. Very soon. Again, things you like. I'm going to give you numbers 2 and 3. Number 2, I did go without for a little bit. It's a different point. It's hot water. sounds really simple, but
Yeah.
man, is that huge.
Exactly that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lovely Christmas this year with no heating, so we got to wash in a bucket in
Oh,
the bathtub. It was wonderful.
Yes. I learned what a whore's bath was, and I was like, oh, yeah. But you do what you gotta do. And number 3, this is gonna sound like chilled drinks. Like be able to actually have like a drink at the temperature you want it to be at any time. I mean, all 3 of these things sound incredibly simple, but I find more often than not, like especially 1 and 2, those are the differences between like what have and had enough, and that's what you can tell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those.
There's only
Running water.
yeah. There was only 3 things in life that my mother said to me before I ever left home. 3 things that you should buy that are quality. She said, toilet paper,
Yes.
towels, and bedding. So you want good quality versions of that, because that way you're not going to end up with your towel falling apart.
Cotton all round.
Cotton all round. It's not with the toilet paper. It's just you don't get it on your fingers, man.
You know, it depends if they're socks.
Yes, absolutely. Or leaves, depending on where you are. Right. But I mean, it's just one of those.
In my younger years,
I'm
I
listening.
was thieving bloody toilet paper from my college.
Yes.
Like, I just run out of time. I was like, well, I don't have any bog roll, and it's after hours. I'm just gonna thieve a bunch of these.
I mean, this sounds like again, this sounds incredibly fucking simple, but the truth is, I mean, like it's amazing when you get right down to the nitty gritty of what you don't have. Right, the things you really miss are like running water, hot water, really go hot water for any extended period of time. It's the one luxury I give myself when I take a shower. I go as hot as I can because, like, you know what? That's a luxury. That's a luxury, and I know it's a luxury, but it's one I appreciate because I've been without. Like I said, toilet paper. I understand now why it's so well traded when it's in poor nations, and the fact that. Like the fact that people can have like a chill like beer or a cold glass of water. As simple as that sounds, that shit's the stuff you remember. Like you go without, you realize that stuff matters. Like, holy crap, did I take that for granted? And there are a lot of places
without cups of tea.
I don't think I've ever been without kind of like the cold water thing, because like assuming that you've got kind of running taps, you can run the tap long enough.
It's bloody cold here.
Yeah, no. I lived in Arizona, and I used to walk all day. I used to walk all day outside. I used to walk all day out in the 45-degree temperatures. There's no way to make that cold. Trust me.
I can imagine
in Arizona. Jesus.
Yes, I've lived in both. Like I live. Okay, so Calgary, where I am right now, goes down to -40 below, and I've lived at 40 above. So I've kind of been in both extremes. I actually prefer the heat to the cold, to be perfectly honest. But yeah.
No, I'd rather have the heat. I'm just British, so I'm used to the cold, and I'm used to the rain, and I'm like, it's like Britain. It's different shades of grey. It's lovely. Whereas, you're not used to. You just want to move somewhere hot.
I fucking hate the cold.
Yeah, I know. I'm used to the cold. That's it's frightening. Like when you get to that point, you know you're doomed. Like you just do. Fuck! I'm used to this now.
And it's always a wet cold over here. So
yeah, it's damp. It's damp.
It's damp and it's horrible.
The thing is, though, is it's like I didn't come here kind of blind. You know, you kind of look at it, and honestly, like tourists will come in and they'll say, "Oh, this and that and the next thing," and you're so kind of. You came to Scotland. What the fuck were you expecting? Nobody comes to Scotland for the weather.
No.
Crazy fucking people come to Scotland for the weather.
Like, literally, where we live. So last weekend, weekend before.
No,
we
2
had,
days ago there was full hail.
Yeah, two days ago we had a snowstorm with thunder and lightning in it. But I was gonna say a couple of weeks ago we actually sat outside and sunbathed, and the next morning we woke up and there was a foot of snow. And it is absolutely insane. And we're in this weird little pocket. So no matter what it says on the weather report, we will not get whatever they say. So if they say we're going to get snow, we'll get nothing. And then 3 days later it'll be sunshine promised.
And then we'll the village just over is under 20 feet of snow.
Snow, yeah, and it's
that's hyperbole, by the way.
Yeah.
It's not hyperbole.
No.
It's not hyperbole here. It actually can happen. Like within 2 days, we could have that. Right? It's like, what the fuck just happened?
we're up in the
don't mind it
mountains.
so much.
It's
Like,
just kind of.
It
Yeah.
kind of like you just stop forgetting about it, and I think the only thing I'd really prefer is that if they were going to do all these like weather reports and stuff, like they should do them topless.
Yeah.
You know, and they basically just stop this bullshit where they dance around and say, well, it's going to be high here, down there, cold there, whatever. They just have some like naked person just jumps out on the screen and says, it's going to be shit. And now back to the studio.
Yeah, but get if Brian or Jeff did that, it wonderful.
I don't care. Brian, Jeff, Jilly, whatever, a lot of them.
Just take turns. Just take turns, right?
Hey, we can alternate.
Yeah, that's right.
Wouldn't it be great if it was like, and then they had like speech bubbles?
Dog
Just
representation.
be a dog just pointing. Yeah, it'd be great. Everyone
Yeah,
would watch. If it had puppies on it, everyone would watch it. I thought those kind of puppies are natural puppies.
The weather would be a lot more interesting.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, like, we almost pretty much gave, like, neither of us, even separately, like, gave up with terrestrial TV, like, years ago.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I'm still on like, you know, and now to Jeff with the weather. Oh, he's humping the microphone. Let's
God.
cut, you know.
Well, Jeff's having a swell day.
Well, how do you feel, Jeff? Relieved. Totally relieved.
Oh, God.
This conversation.
Go home, Jeff.
I think I've done a better job traumatizing you guys than you guys traumatizing.
No.
I promise we've been
You're a
tame.
noob, sir.
We've been tame. You wait until we we'll let you read some of our
Yes.
stuff.
No. That sounds. I can't wait. I know at some point, like if I do ever, as I do more and more conventions, one of my goals is actually to do a show over in the UK. So
Okay.
yeah, it's kind of like because I actually do know quite. I know a few people over there already, so it'd be kind of nice to actually go and actually meet some people over there. It won't be this year because I got other evil plans for the podcast, like evil masterminding plans. So I got to do those this year. But next year, I would like to go like England's on my list. I'd love to go to China, and I'd love to go to Australia. So
That sounds like a good list.
Oz would be amazing.
yes.
Gee whiz, man.
Well, just because England, because I know people over there, and it's not that. I think it'd be a fun experience. China, because
Hey, it's a totally cool place to just come. It's great.
yeah, I'm looking for. I mean, my dollar is Canadian, so I'll be openly weeping at the cost of things. But besides that, I figure I'll have a good time.
Our pounds are English.
Yes.
In Scottish, we're openly weeping. Just
yeah.
everybody.
Well, so I'll be joining. I'll be joining you guys weeping. You'll be like.
London is super expensive.
Yeah,
if you've never been to
is
London,
a totally different beast.
it's everyone's kind of like, London. It's like, yeah, it's really filthy. London is dirty and noisy.
I gotta be like.
You like it more than me. I don't like London.
it.
I like Edinburgh.
See, Edinburgh's okay. Like, I prefer Glasgow over Edinburgh.
I still like Edinburgh.
Really?
Yeah, I lived there. It's great.
I lived there too, and like I found Glasgow to be a much friendlier place just across the board.
They'll apologise when they mug you.
No.
Yeah.
It's okay. This is
You
interesting.
get the apology.
It's interesting. No, because because it's like over here too. Like there's some cities I really like. There's some cities I really don't. Like I like visiting Toronto in Canada, but you couldn't pay me enough money to live there. It's not built for me to live. I personally find the city. I lived in Detroit, Michigan, United States, and I found Detroit safer. Right, and like in terms of like that feeling of hostility that's in Toronto, because Toronto's very work to live. I found there was a certain hostility there that just was not healthy. I'm not saying Detroit was a safe area, but I'm just saying that I didn't have that same hostility feeling there. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know. I found the funny thing with Edinburgh was it's like there's just people from all over the world there. But at the time, like I was going to gigs like pretty much every night of the week, and it was just really hard to kind of just meet people, and it was so strange because I was meeting people all the time, but I just came out of like a year of living there without any kind of like meaningful connections and all all the other stuff.
Oh, and
It just all felt like kind of surface level, which was really what was so strange about my entire experience, because that was the whole deal for me. Like,
no, sometimes I like that with you. Like I get that with Toronto. Like, consequently, I love Vancouver. Vancouver is just as expensive as Toronto, but I always get the impression when I go there that it's more welcoming for me. I get to hang out with a lot more people I appreciate. It's more. I think some cities are more built for you than others, if that makes sense.
No, I believe that kind of. What's the size difference between Vancouver and Toronto?
Not much.
I know Vancouver. I have family that live on Vancouver Island, so I've been over to Victoria and Vancouver Island and Vancouver and sort of bounced all over the place. But it's lovely over there. It was the cleanness that got me. It was like I went to the cinema. Somebody dropped popcorn on the floor and they picked it up and put it in the bin, and I was like, "Oh
my God!
What is this? What is this magic? Everybody is nice."
Yes. No.
Shit over here.
Yeah, but like I said, for me, Vancouver feels slow for a big city. I mean, it's got a city vibe to it, but doesn't feel like there's like this incredible hustle to do things. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I know like every city has their own what they call like pulse, right? But the thing, but the thing about that is, I just felt like it felt very comfortable to me, right? Whereas Toronto was the opposite. Like, Toronto's great to visit. I love visiting the city. I love, like, there's lots to do there. It's very clean. It's a very clean New York is what Toronto is, and it's a good city, but again, I could not live there. Like, I just not built to live there. It's other people can, and I don't knock anybody for doing so. It's just not for me. I feel the same way about LA. I could not live in LA.
Yeah, I like the country. I like the countryside. I like open doors. I like green. I'd rather be living outside in the country than I would be living in a city, because it was too much noise. When I lived in Edinburgh, it was sorry, I'm just trying to sort out my chair. It was just really, really noisy all the time, and I lived near a rugby stadium. Forever stopped. But oh god, the joys of, like, I love up here. It's so clean. Like, the air is so clean. It's just lovely.
My favorite thing about small towns is the stars. I love the stars at night.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we get that here. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and when you get that, you're like, I love that feeling, because then you just realize that the whole world is just bigger than you can possibly imagine it to be. There's almost a kind of magic to it, and that's the one thing I do miss. Calgary is a fairly large city. You don't get to see the stars like that. You just don't.
No.
There's
light pollution and the like.
Yes, exactly. It just does.
I couldn't do big city living. Like, it's fun to go and visit, but it's, like Pip said, it's just, I like the quiet.
Yes. Yeah, we're both generally, for kind of extroverted people, we're both quiet. We want to sit down and watch a movie and have a beer and let the world go by, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, you're content in your space, and you have your own little corner of the world, and you're happy with it.
Kind of shouting and screaming outside. Yeah,
exactly.
That's exactly all it is.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with any of that. So, Pip, Myk, I think we have a good interview here. What do you think?
Yeah, it's been great.
It's been great fun.
Yeah, so this is what this feels like to be on my show. So,
it's been fun. It's been really good. I'm glad you got in contact with us.
I'm really glad too. It's just one of those. Well, like I said, I just saw that you were friends with Craig DeLuey, and it was like, I looked you guys up. It's like, okay, you guys seem really cool. Say hi.
Yes.
Right? I'm not afraid to say hello to people online, because you never know where that leads you. You just never do.
Exactly.
Right?
I just got podcasts. I was like, okay, let's go Google this, see what it's about. I was like, yes, this interests me. Okay, hello.
Hello. It's like, oh my god, is he? No, it's like, is he creeping me? No, he's not. This is legit.
No, exactly. That is always my first thought when anybody I don't know messages me. I'm like, okay, is this safe?
Well,
Oh, they're normal. Oh, I
Is
like
there
this.
a dick pic imminent?
I'm the other way, Nessie. See, I get pretty girls that add me to there. It's like, okay, so does this involve porn in any way, shape, or form?
It's great, but it's like
if it is, can I have some for free?
no, but it's always like gorgeous model pictures, and the name's Derek.
Yeah, or sometimes it.
Siobhan.
The ones that really get you are the ones you're not 100% sure, because the profile isn't complete, but it's also just possible that they were lazy. You're not quite sure if it was just like, did they just got bored, or are they lazy? Because they actually have friends and stuff like that too. You're like, this seems real. Are you real? I've actually done that to a few people.
You gotta ask how many nipples they got.
Yeah, I do.
If they answer anything less than 5, they're lying.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
It's part of the deal.
Yeah, it is. Okay. So the 5 nipple tests, courtesy of Myk,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Also, the other thing is kind of like they start asking you what you do, and you kind of say that you like sitting in custard and eating fish fingers.
They stop talking to you then.
It's just like you just basically push the weird boat out and see if they're up for it, and if they're not, they'll leave you before.
Yeah, the other day.
Just gotta chase them off.
The other day, I got a phone call from somebody trying to sell stuff, and he was like, Mike just sort of was like, this is not a phone number I know. Answers the phone with, hello, what are you wearing? And this guy was like, what are you wearing? And I was like, I think I should take you off my record list. Okay, thank you, bye.
Thank you, bye.
It's just, you gotta walk them to the conclusion that you need them to get to.
Yes. It's like, listen. Well, no, I don't walk. I don't walk. I just tell them. I don't believe in wasting my time. I just don't.
No.
So I'm not going to be mean, but I'm going to be blunt. Right?
I just hang up the phone.
That's as blunt as it gets.
Depending on how kind they are, depending on kind of like how they open their thing, I'll say, listen, you got 15. You got 2 sentences to tell me what you're selling.
Yeah.
And like at that point, if they can't like do it in that point, I'll just kind of say, well, sorry, bye.
Elevator pitch.
And,
Yeah.
like, exactly. And it's depending. It's all dependent on how they answer the phone and whether they're intentionally bullshitting and trying to waste my time. And that's basically that decides on how polite I am.
Yes. I generally have a polite demeanor. It's just the nature of what I do. I've learned to be relatively tolerant. I have to be tolerant, but I don't want my time wasted either. So I'm like, I will listen I'll take a second to listen. Hi, I'm calling for blah 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 blah. Okay. Well, this is
my first question is where did you get my number?
I don't ask that question anymore because I know how that works. I'm on an Android phone. They're hacked. So what the I say? We live in an era now where there's no more safety valve in regards to your phone's numbers being private anymore. Because now since everybody's got a cell phone, telemarketers have to make their living somehow. So it's like, hey, phone companies, can I have your list of numbers at random? Why, sure, we have millions. That's I don't ask that question anymore. My question now is, what do you want?
Yeah.
My tolerance and my general manners eroded by years of working in a Scottish pub.
That would do it.
My level so low, I just don't even anymore.
Oh, I will just be like, hello, and they go, hi, I'm calling from... and I literally would just hang up the phone. I don't even... It's just like, hello, hi, I'm calling from... No, literally, phone hung up. I won't answer.
If you don't recognize the number even, like you pick the phone up and just start breathing heavily.
My mum will pick up the phone and not say anything.
That also works.
She just says nothing, and she waits for them, and it's like, then the spiel starts, just hangs up the phone. for a long time, because I always used to have a really high pitched voice. I always just used to tell people that I was 17, and they go, oh, I'm very sorry. So for years I was 17. It was great. They can't sell anything to me or ask me anything. It's like, if I'm 17, it's great. I'll just stamp on your balls and then you talk to them, and it'll be easy. It'll be fine. Probably not for you, but might be for them.
What an amazing trade.
That was, wow. 17-year-old ball buster. Hey.
Hi,
Mickey
I'll take my mouth for the phone.
Yes. I was thinking, I sound like Mickey Mouse. What happened? I met the 17-year-old. She just busted my balls. Now it's just something about permanently talk like this. Please help.
That's very Kermity.
Yeah. It's just the way. It's just.
That was decidedly Kermity.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's okay. I can live with that. I mean, Kermit would probably say something very similar to that anyway. It's like, what happened? Well.
Yeah, exactly. Miss Piggy's got his balls in a vice most of the time.
Yeah, usually.
It's the hand up his backside that I'm more concerned about.
You know, I don't ask questions where those hands have been. Because it's not just...
Kermit just fits like a glove.
I don't know. I always thought Fozzie was the one that got it the hardest. That was just me. Just the way the eyes just kind of looked there, kind of glazed over. It's like, yeah, it's my turn. That's pretty much how I always looked at Fozzie.
He just settled into it now.
Yeah, exactly. It's been that way so long. I'm just used to it now. I don't get anything out of it, but they do still. Bastards. Very nice.
Torn at the seams.
Yes. So nice to deal with civilized adults.
Oh, civilized adult conversation is what we were going in for today.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's 20 to 10, so you know. civilized conversation.
So I mean, hands up the ass, reading comic books. You know, it's that time of night for that, right?
Yeah, average conversation.
We've pretty much been like chained to desks all day, just getting
The book finished.
Getting the book finished. Like, so I've been putting kind of people's faces on eggs and photoshopping giant cocks.
I've been drinking.
And the boozing, basically. Yeah, it's
And I
Anything to get through the day, right?
yeah.
It's just an average Saturday.
Yeah, it is.
Things you do when you're bored. You both were you were the kids that you know, TP people's houses or did other things to keep yourselves from going crazy way back in the day.
I would have actually liked to have been one of those kids.
No, we were
Like,
both boring nerds, like sitting at home and reading books.
I think I made up for it in my later teen years, but that was basically.
Whereas I played World of Warcraft. I just went to university and then played World of Warcraft. I totally was like recluse nerd girl.
Yeah, but you were rocking up in the rock clubs and stuff.
Okay, I did go to rock clubs, but.
So no, I don't okay, because I get this impression that you when you guys do cut loose, you just really cut loose and you just let it all hang out because you just say fuck it after. It's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just doing this. I'm getting this out of my system. I need to get this out of my system. Tomorrow I'll be relatively back to normal or whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah. Oh no, we like it's not kind of cut loose. You know, we're not up there kind of.
Yeah.
Pinning goats to
No,
fences and stuff.
We'll even get out a board game and go to the pub.
Yeah.
Nice.
Kind of,
I know.
Like-
We're living the crazy life.
I know.
go and have a few drinks and all that kind of stuff. But I think what we've realized
We're old.
collectively. I don't even know if that's like the story. It's
I know, we like the slow
go to
life.
places where like shit is loud and it's like this music and it's like.
Oh, no.
And you're sitting there thinking, I can't talk, I can't think, the music sucks, why the fuck am I here?
That was just New Year. That was like New Year. That was terrible.
Yep.
I feel bad.
I have a rule person when I go to like a party or something like that. If it's more than 20 people, I better know everybody here. Otherwise, I'm not going to be that interested.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
You've got to have people to talk to that you actually give a crap about.
Well, that's the thing. Is, if the music's so loud that you can't actually meet people for the properly, like, hey, I don't know you, I'm going to talk to you. Then it's like you're not going to have fun.
No.
We're here to just listen to you don't enjoy and not be able to talk to anybody and get some real serious drinking in. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I guess kind of like drinking and getting drunk and carrying on with all that is like it's always like if I get smashed, it's just a byproduct of me sitting and having a good time. That's really it's never been the destination.
No, and if I get smashed, it means I've had one single pint of drink.
Yeah,
That's
I'm a total lightweight.
okay.
With my alcohol.
That's okay. I'm a lightweight generally. Except I live 3,000 feet up, so when I first come down to ground level, I'm invincible because this is like I can't. It's just the effect. You come down to sea level, alcohol doesn't hit you the same way for a few days, so you can just go nuts for as long as you want. But after about 3-4 days, you acclimate. Then you're just like, hey, this didn't get me drunk like this before.
Yeah.
Nice shirt, and then pass out.
There's definitely a difference between like a pub pint and a home pint.
Yes.
Like you can sit at home and kind of drink a 6-pack without even breaking a sweat. You go to the pub, you have a pint and a half, and you're kind of
You're knackered.
a lot worse for wear. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I'm done. I came. I saw. Right.
Oh, okay, everything's fine.
Yes, I'm good. What are you looking at? And then you wake up in the tank. What the hell happened? I had one of those pints. And next thing I know, I'm here.
You kind of turn a corner though. It's like you get to like I don't know at what point exactly it happened, but it was like 30-31, and I just turned a corner, and it was kind of I went from I'm totally cool. I can just drink until the sun comes up, and I just get up and go to work, and there's like you don't even break a sweat. You feel a little kind of peaky around the corner, but now it's like you get this delayed hangover. Like,
yes.
Yeah, two pints, and the next day you're like, what? But
and it
body,
takes you like
why?
2 days to get over it. And
Yeah.
You're thinking, what the hell happened?
It's because your body goes to you at about 30. Okay, we need to have a talk. You know this shit you've been doing to me for the last 15 years? I can't take it anymore. So you need to stop, or every time I'm going to beat you, right? And that's what happens. And then
every time you do this to me, I'm gonna do that to you.
Exactly. And I'm gonna make it worse each time. So I remember in my I didn't really start drinking until I got into my drank in my early 20s and my late 20s a little bit. It was fun. Got to my 30s, I was like, fuck no. I can also do what I call a social drink. I'll have a small pint or 2 pints, no problem.
Yeah.
And I generally go home with that. I'm good with that, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But it's that third one.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
And it's always it always feels like it's a good idea, and you get about halfway down, and you're like, yeah, this is great, and then you're like, whoa, when it's done, and there's this little whoop, and you sit there and you go,
Oh no.
I shouldn't have drunk that. I need to go home.
That was dumb.
Yes.
That was dumb. I feel great, but when I close my eyes, the world is not as it's supposed to be.
No,
I'm just gonna walk around in circles for a bit.
It's days where, because I work like an hour and a half away from home, so it's like I'll get on the bus, and on a Friday he'll finish work before me, so he'll be in the pub, and I'll come home, and he'll have had a couple of pints, and I get in there, and he's like, yeah, I need to go home now. I'm like, I just got here, so yeah, I need to go home now. Okay. I'll make you dinner, thank you. Can I have burgers, please?
It's not a take me home. I want to. It's kind of.
Yeah, I'm ready to get home.
It's a lot less kind of bossy than that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, not bossy.
I think.
It's the please be my reason to get out of here. I want to go home.
Yes.
We lean into our gender roles a lot, but it's not.
Yeah.
No, I get you.
It's weird. It's weird.
Well, no, it's just because it's also just the fact that in your case you work at a pub, and things you're the bartender, right? So the bartender.
No, I don't work in a pub. That's back in the back in my younger years.
No, you're a graphic designer.
When those goddamn kids were.
Yeah. Okay. But even so, you've worked the scene. You've done the scene before, so you know what's there. It's not glamorous for you. I mean, it's nice to unwind for a little bit, but there's a point too where it's just like, you know what? I'd rather be home because it's more interesting there.
Honestly, it's mostly just a place. When we end up kind of going out places, it's more just to get out, go someplace that's not home and not work, because
most of the time it's because we're writing the rest of the time it's just home and work.
Yeah. Basically, get up early in the morning and kind of I'm at my desk early, and so I get a couple of hours in before I go to my day job, and Pip's the same.
Yeah, I jump. I'm on the bus at 7:30 to get to work in time. So for 9 o'clock.
So basically, yeah, it just breaks the monotony of the routine,
Yeah.
right?
That's it.
Which isn't a bad thing, but I mean, after the routine's broken, and you get have a drink, you're kind of feeling okay about yourself. Okay, it's time to go home. I want to do something else.
It's kind of when it starts becoming this kind of destination where you can sod this every day, and today was shit. I'm going to the pub.
Yeah.
Today was also shit. I'm going to the pub.
Yeah.
Today was also shit. I'm going to the pub. And I get to the end of this and
today was really good. I'm going to celebrate by going to the pub.
Yes.
Kind of 2 months later, you're
carrying your beer belly to the pub.
Yeah. You take your friend with you.
And they take their friends with you, and then all of a sudden it's wait, I live here now. No, what the hell has happened? Right, and you don't, and that's not cool. Whenever you get to that point,
You just plonk your gut on the bar, and everyone says, "Who's your friend?"
yes.
You know?
Then suddenly you're Norm from Cheers. Everybody just calls you out by name. It's no, when did this happen?
Actually, we've got a really good thing going around here. It's wonderful. We go everywhere we go. We know the guys who own the cafes, and the pubs, and we got friends. It's really just. I think for the first time for both of us, it's just nice to have a place to belong.
Yeah,
it is.
Which is something I never expected.
We can walk in somewhere and they will know us, and it's not through over drinking. I swear, they just know us, and it's just nice. And they know, we're going to a cafe, and they know what kind of coffees we have, and so they will just make the coffees that we have, and it's just hello world that I love.
Well,
it's just nice.
Yeah, you have a home. And that's honestly, again, something I do. I've traveled a lot my whole life, so for me, I've been in Calgary 10 years, but I don't really feel like it's home. I like it here, but I don't love it here. There's a, it's
kind of nomad.
Yeah, I mean, it's partly because I'm a nomad, right? Partly, but it just doesn't feel like this is gonna be my final destination. You know what I mean? But I'm trying to enjoy it as much as I can while I'm still here.
You'll know when you're there.
Yeah,
exactly. It's where you're meant to be.
Exactly. I would truly love at some point to meet you guys in person, have a drink, and just continue chatting. You two are very, very cool.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
You let us know when you're coming over here.
I will. And if you ever come back to Vancouver, let me know. So.
Hey, definitely. The plans are not laid, and there's a few other things to kind of get sorted. But
we're potentially doing a tour across the US and up to Canada,
and because I'd love to meet you guys face to face. I think we have a talk. We could talk about all the nipples we want at that point. And,
yay! We'll collect some on the way over there, and
we'll make a belt on the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Up the States.
Belts
when we get to Canada.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. All right, so
Ed Gein can do it, we can do it.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, totally. You two are a hoot. So listen, guys, what I would like you to do is give your full name, your books, your current books, and how can people find you?
Okay, I am Pippa Bailey, and you can. We're about to have our third book out. That's co-authored between the two of us, and that's Rancid Eggs, and that will actually be up for pre-order hopefully within the next 48 hours, and should be released within the next week. We've got two previous books, but I will let Myk talk about those because we've both written them together.
Basically, we put out a whole collection of bite-sized horror books, which are a flash collection. My name?
Yeah.
What's my name?
Did you just say your name first?
Well, I totally cocked that up.
You did. Say your name.
Indeed, I say my name.
Do it.
Say my name.
Just do it.
I'm Myk Pilgrim. That's MYK Pilgrim. The best place to find me is at mykpilgrim.com. I got all my links, all that other crap's on there, but I'm on Instagram, Facebook, hanging around on Twitter, etc., all the rest. Our thing, like Pip said, is basically Rancid Eggs, which is our Easter horror collection, which I must say we're both stupidly excited about. The cover is probably the most exciting one we put out yet.
It's
got
fun.
a bunny eating fingers.
On the front cover,
which is just, it's totally our kind of thing. It is despicable.
Yep.
It's a whole collection of short stories, flash fiction, all kind of Easter-based. Not nearly as religious as one might imagine. It's all about the real Easter, all the bonking.
Honestly, it really is.
I agree.
It is the filthiest book we've ever written.
It is a blood-soaked, semen-crusted bonk fest with rabbits and...
That's the words, not the physical copy of the book.
It's terrible.
But prior to that, we had Bloody Stockings out at Christmas.
Which was our Christmas collection.
Christmas collection of short fiction, and before that we had Poison Candy, which was a drabble book. Drabbles are stories that are 100 words long, no more, no less. That came out end of October.
Yeah, it was October.
It's got 100 stories in it, but they'll all be on Amazon. We are intending to have they will be sold on multiple platforms out, and eventually we'll have links to our website, which is being built slowly, which will be
publishing company.
Got our own publishing company called Pugnacious Press, so you can find pretty much everything you want to know through Pugnacious Press eventually, and that would be www.pugnaciouspress.com.
Sweet.
And that's it.
That's pretty much it. We do kind of...
And that was my conversation with Myk Pilgrim and Pippa Bailey. Guys, thank you very much for being amazing. You're welcome back anytime. Their book Rancid Eggs is available now. Check it out. If you live in the UK or on Amazon, you should definitely take a moment to check out their stuff. They are amazing people. Myk, Pippa, thank you very much. I kind of want to talk about the future a little bit more now. Like what's worked so far, what hasn't. It's been since I've done. I think I'm going to do that next episode. The winner for this giveaway is Sandra Bunding. Sandra, congratulations, you've won. I will be contacting you shortly and let you know where to send the book. All right. Yeah, all in all, it's been a very good month. A lot of cool things have happened. I'm really happy right now. Really, really happy. And that will do it for this episode, Just Joshing. If you want to support the podcast, you can do so a number of different ways. You can subscribe to the podcast. Podmac, Google Play, iTunes, Spotify. I am on all those platforms and more. Subscribe, share, let people know about the podcast. That'd be great. My books, The Watcher, Storm Dancer, Wandering God, are available through MirrorWorldPublishing.com. Alice Zero will be going to pre-orders fairly soon. It hopefully will be released. My release date target is May 24th, but we will see. But they will be coming. So my books, those are my books. My YouTube channel is Joshua Pantellaresco. I have nearly all the first 100 episodes up there. And yeah, it's been really, really, really fun updating everything bit by bit by bit. Thanks everybody for listening to the show. Stay inspired. Keep doing what you're called to do. And I will talk to you guys next week. The Creative Inc. interviews will resume next week. My first guest is Brenda Carr. It'll be fun. All right, guys. Till then, take care.
Josh.